1, 2, testing. 1, 2. All right. How are you, Soren? Nice to see you here. Lighthouse, you were the second one here. All right, cool. GBP yen. GBP yen. We are with a GBP yen short with a VAP from yesterday. Now, I am looking at possible ads here on the pound yen. Uh huh. Where is the question? Right, so this, my friends, is what I am looking for. This is a 10-minute chart, very possibly trading the break of these lows, right, and moving my stop losses break even on the on yesterday's, yeah, on yesterday's trade, and right. So I'm going to wait for some. Hello, man B, how are you, mate? So this would be my trade today. You know, a adding on yesterday's shorts on the pound yen, right? So this is how it would look like. Swing gold trade. I'm still holding. I'm still holding the swing gold trade, mate. I'm still holding. Hello, Sander. I'm still holding today's VAP gold short. Um, I'm gonna talk about that in a second. Because actually, I don't think I'm gonna be adding here at this level. Let me show you actually on the 15-minute chart how it would look like. I was thinking earlier today on adding here at the break of that of those lows, which would have played out nicely, but price is very choppy. And not only that, but also, hold on. Also, if you look at the Japanese yen basket, because basically the pound yen short is a long on the Japanese yen, right? And we're still trading inside of this range. Now, yesterday's pound yen was a bounce of the lows, right? That was my trade. A bounce of the lows and a break of that structure, right? It's playing out nicely. But right now the pound yen is still, I'm sorry, the Japanese yen is still trading within this range. And on the very short time frames, the 3-minute chart or so, we do have these highs, right? This is the level that is capping the upside in this market. But it looks like it's that we have buyers, jumping in here, for that breakout. So, Japanese yen, pound yen. I'm sorry. On the pound yen side, very possibly, which I mean, I'm not in love with this setup. A break of these lows. I'm just not in love with it because of this, guys. Because of these lows right here. Look, this is a very strong level, mate. Super strong level. And yeah, what I could do, in fact, if you go to the hourly chart, no, not even on the hourly chart. Also, the pound yen short that we have running with the VAPs is just a short on a massive, massive key level on the higher time frames. Yes, I'm looking for something spicy, mate. Looking for something spicy. Um, yeah, but let's think about this. Let's think about this particular setup, right? I mean, I just don't like this zone right here. This is so strong. And it's very, I mean, it would be very close to my entry. Now, the reason that I didn't take, um, or that I didn't add on my shorts on the pound yen earlier today, on this liquidity strip, is because we have like six trades running with between the VIP and the swing trading VIP group, and even though what I mean, even though my idea was to lower stop losses below these highs, which I did, and then place a pending order below these lows, calculating um, this position size to make a 1% risk on both of the trades. I just didn't like how choppy, what price action was at the moment. And also, I'm just waiting for this breakout. Now, let's wait for this breakout and that retest because that will give us that entry. That entry, very possibly what I will be looking for. Let me just delete this. Very possibly what I will be looking for on that breakout because if that breakout plays out, this breakout to the upside, right? Um, that um, would bring bearish momentum on the pound yen, very possibly breaking with these lows right here, this level right here. So, um, this is a weak low. This is a very strong low. So, um, when and if that breakout plays out, right, this breakout right here, um, on the long side of the Japanese yen, this is the Japanese yen basket, I will be looking for dip buys here, which means that we'll be looking for um, pullbacks towards this level on the pound yen for my short idea. Right now, but it's looking very good. Right now, our trade is up about 40 pips and just starting age. All right, this is looking very good, very good. Let's just wait to see this one play out. Now, on the US dollar side, the reason that I'm still holding my US dollar shorts, right, which are um, my Euro USD longs, this trade from yesterday, is because of this, right? This is the DXY, the US dollar currency index on the 50-minute chart, right? Very rangy, very rangy, but to me, this on the very short term, right, is very bearish because of this break right here. Gold trade isn't it better stop loss at 1680 below the key levels. Let's have a look at gold. Now, about this, about my gold trade from today. Now, whenever I make mistakes, I always tell you that I made it, right? Now, this is my gold trade from earlier today, right here. Let's go to the 7-minute chart. Right, this is my gold trade from earlier. Actually, let's go lower to the 5-minute chart. Yeah, gold broke out to the upside, and then started to range above my entry. Right now, I placed this pending order during my Asian session review. Right, and when I woke up around 2 a.m. Right now it's 4:17 a.m. here. Price was ranging here, right? Making lows and hitting that. I mean, making lows within my entry zone. So my mismanagement here was that I mean, I should have placed my stop losses at break even or below these lows. And if price, like it did, drew down, I would have been stopped out. I would have been stopped out at break even but I would have been able to take this long in gold, which a much better risk to reward ratio. But because my risk was or is 1% in these gold longs, I wasn't able to take or to add to my position here, which is looking very good, right? Now, that is, the mistake that I made on this gold trade. But you know what? It happens, and for the time being, this market is still bullish on the short term. Right. So, gold trade is any better stop loss at 1680. Wow, 1680. Hold on. Oh, the swing trade. The swing trade. Right. Let's have a look. Let me have a look at the swing trading group to see where my entry was in gold. Uh, 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 1776.90. Right. So let's place this. Uh, 1776.90. So like here. Yeah. And you're saying that stop loss, you would place stop loss all the way here. Now, of course, that these are not my targets, mates. So, yeah, this is my stop losses are below these lows right here, below these lows. I think 1764. What? Hold on. Actually, I'm going to look at my MT4. Yeah, much better, right? So if I'm looking at the 4 hour chart, all right. So this is my trade. 17. I got in here at the break of these highs and at the break of these highs, and my stop losses are below this zone. Now just below these lows. Yeah, I like my stop loss position in here, mate, because of this, right? Now, you are saying that stop losses, you would place stop losses all the way here below the key level, right? You're talking about these highs, key pivotal level, right? And these lows right here. This entire zone, yes, that is a very, very heavy key pivotal level in straight price action in this market. But one, if I were to take if I were to place if I were to place my stop losses this low, I wouldn't have taken this trade because of the risk to reward ratio, right? Now, my play here is quite simple. It's a dip towards this the supply area. I'm sorry. Let me just look at this. It's a dip towards this supply zone, so my stop losses are just below the lows. Now, if I get stopped out, that's fine. I will be looking for longs on another dip, right? I'm bullish, in metals, and yeah, that's the main reason, right? Risk to reward. And don't think that I am, playing with that or playing with, or placing my stop losses to ensure that they fit my thought process. No, this is just what I saw and what I'm trading at the moment. Of course, that I'm also not moving my stop losses to break even. So this was my mistake in gold today. You know, uh, yeah, I woke up and I saw gold, trading here at the upside. And you know, it was 2 a.m. Well, I wake up at 2 a.m. every day, right? So I mean, that's not the issue. But I mean, I had to go shower, have breakfast, my coffee, etc. And I just didn't move my stop losses to break even, right? And I should have. I normally do. So this is what happens when you go off your normal trading plan. Yeah, and should I, that I mean I would have been stopped out of break even, right? But I would have been able to take this long right here, which with a much better risk to reward ratio, right? Which I wasn't able to. Let's have a look at the Japanese yen. So the Japanese yen, um, looking, you know, yeah. I mean, it is looking like a possible break to the upside, which is cool because that will give us that pound yen short, right? For the time being, right? For the time being, this is yesterday's trade. It's 6R uh, now, and I've moved my stop losses below this low. You know what? I don't have a coupon right now. There's no coupon today. But you should definitely join. I mean, it's very cheap, and if you don't like it, you can just cancel your subscription, right? I mean, um, yeah. I mean, we have given a ton of discounts lately, so we are like stepping down. You know, taking the foot off the pedal on those, on those discount codes. Right. Now, what do you think about GU? Well, mate, I'm long the pound yen, the pound US dollar. Um, yeah. Right now, all right, let's go to a 50-minute chart. What are your current thoughts on the Kiwi? I don't trade the Kiwi. I don't trade the Kiwi, right? I really don't trade the Kiwi. I am long the pound USD, right? My trade is up about 1,000 pips, if I'm not mistaken. Let's have a look. I'll show you. Let's go to a daily chart. Uh-huh. Right, so this is the account that follows all our BAP trades. Yeah, I'm up 920 pips or so on the pound USD still. This is with the swing trading group. On the short term, I have been looking for to add on the pound US dollar. My preferred zone to add on the pound US dollar is the 120 level. But you know what? I don't know if it's going to to dip that hard towards that level. More so because of this. Right there's two reasons why I mean I don't know if it's going to. Yeah, Johnson, I'll come to your question. Don't worry. There's a couple of things, right, that um, um, which I don't think that the pound is going to go towards that level. The first of it is that one, the pound has absolutely no reason to be, or you know what, it had absolutely no reason to be at these lows. This was a great. I mean, in my opinion, that was the buy. After those pandemic buys on U.S. equities and those gold buys with the war in Ukraine. When that I don't even remember her name, the prime minister that that spent I think a month being prime minister and then she resigned. She crashed the pound to historic lows, right? And there's absolutely no reason why the pound should have been in this or at this low. So I mean, I wasn't going to place buys here because that's just not how I do it, right? I mean, this was very volatile, mate. So I waited until key levels formed and I took my entry around here. So I'm up, 1,000 pips on that trade. Yep. But on the short term, I don't have a play on the pound on the short term. I'm not even looking at the pound on the short term, mate, because of that big key level. Is the UNCD, is the Kiwi? Is the Kiwi? Yes, that's Olympus trades. That's Olympus trade. The Kiwi USD. So, do you believe that gold will go in the 18, 10, 15 position? Listen, I don't know. The thing is, no one fucking knows, right? What I can tell you is my thought process on my gold buys. I also have buys, on the swing trading group, and these short-term buys, right? My thought process is this, mate. Let's go to a 5-hour chart. So, there's this massive key level, right? The 1808 to 1810. This lows right here is the last time that we saw real buyers. And when I say real buyers, buyers holding, or getting in on this dip after all-time highs. When sellers took control, this is where we saw massive sellers, bringing price down, um, about 18%, no, 10%, 11% or so. And again, we saw sellers and buyers taking profit, of course, at the same level. Now, my trade is a little late, in the sense that I would have loved to place the trade lower, but to me there was no setup here, because if you notice, I mean, every time gold broke to the upside, there was no dip towards those zones that I like to trade. Right now, this was very impulsive, so I didn't find an entry. The entry that I found was the one that we're trading at the moment, and of course, my even though it's a swing trade, my first targets are at this key level, right? That's my thoughts on gold, mate. That's my thoughts on gold. So my gold trade from today is at break even at my entry level again. Right. Oh boy. So it's going to be hard. And you know what? I'm 10 pips in drawdown, which is not much, right? It's not much, but I'm looking for options on how to manage this position. You know, my entry was here, so this is my current drawdown, about 10 pips. I'm gonna leave it as is for the time being. DXY, right? So if the US dollar breaks with this zone, then I'll close all my US dollar shorts for the time being, which means that very probably I will get stopped out at break even on my Euro USD longs. In hindsight, yes, in hindsight, I should have taken 70% off here, which is what I normally do. But I stepped away from my trading plan, and those are the two biggest mistakes that I've made this week, right? Stepping away from my trading plan and taking 75% off my trade here at these highs for about 1.5 R and letting the rest of it ride, which is what I always do, right? Um, and today's gold, I always tell you I'm not the perfect trader or the most awesome trader in the world. I make mistakes, um, but this mistake will not cost me money, right? And I'm not the one to look at you know the money that I could have made by closing here. I don't do that. This mistake won't cost me money. Today's gold might, just might, right? Yeah. Now on the pound, on the Japanese yen. Again, this is the main reason that we're not going to trade the Japanese yen inside of that range, right? I mean, trading inside of this range is just burning money. So, um, we are going to wait for that breakout. These are the lows that we're trading currently, right? Yesterday's December 8th. Uh, yeah. So yesterday's longs on the Japanese yen was a bounce. I don't even remember here or here. I don't remember. Was a bounce of the lows of the range, right? Yeah, that was a good setup. But for the time being, my ads on the pound yen short, which would be a Japanese yen long, are um, are not in play until it breaks with the highs. So we are going to have to wait and see what happens. So any questions, guys? Any questions? Any questions? So my risk is very low here. By moving my stop losses uh, to above these highs, I reduce my risk um, from around 1% to it was 0.9%, I think, to about 0.35%. So I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah. Right. Any questions, guys? Um, this was a this was a good play on gold longs right here. Just have a look at this, right? It was a 3 point let's call it a 3 R trade long here in gold um, uh, towards this area of supply. I'm eyeballing it or so, right? But that would have been my play, and I would have taken out 75% of my trade here, and I would have been stopped out of the rest. But now, because I deviated from what I normally do, I'm stuck in a trade on a drawdown, which is not fun, right? So lesson learned, right? Do not deviate from your trading plan. Now, U.S. equity. I had U.S. equities wise. So this is another one that I'm waiting for. That This is not actually my setup. I was just looking at possibilities yesterday. So let's go to the daily chart on the S&P 500. I am still looking for shorts in this market. This market is super bearish, and if you notice right here, the S&P 500 retested that structure. I don't trade channels um, or trend lines myself, but I'm looking for shorts, I really wanted to see the structure of this market. So if we go to the 10-hour chart or so, whatever, right? Uh, this you know these shorts got stopped out right here. That is just liquidity, right? And now I'm looking for shorts. Now, the reason that I haven't entered short just yet is because the structure, the midterm structure is still bullish. This pullback, right? Price is still making higher highs and higher lows, and higher highs and higher lows. So whilst price is still making higher highs and higher lows, I'm sorry. Um, just a second. Whilst price is still making higher highs and higher lows, it would be ill advised to take a short. So the level that I'm looking at is this. This level right here, the one that is currently being retested. Now, you know, I am, there's two possibilities. I could place a sell order, right, or a sell stop here below these lows with stop losses above the highs. But that's just too wide, and I think that I can find a much better risk to reward setup in this market. So what I'm looking at here, possibilities are another rally on the short term, right? Another rally on the short term. Let's go to a 30-minute chart. Right, on the short term, this market is bearish, right? And the structure of this market has broken or broke at the break of these lows. Then again, price continues to break with the previous lows, and now, as you can see, momentum has dried up, right? So I am looking for a rally, towards this area right here, and then here is where I am going to look for shorts, right? And even if it's a swing trade, I don't care, right? About yeah, because I've been asked this a ton lately. That if it's a swing trade, why would I place my stop losses so tightly, right? Like who was it? Um, that asked me about Valentin asked me about my stop loss positioning in gold, right? So basically the same thing. I'm looking for the best risk to reward ratio, right? And a rally towards the 4,000 level. I'm sorry, is going to give me that risk to reward ratio that I'm looking for. Now, the other reason is that because I will have a great risk to reward ratio, I am going to be able to take profits here at these lows because I don't know, and no one knows if sellers are going to be strong enough to break with these lows or break with this key level, right? No one knows. So the only thing that I can do is, plan my trade according to what I'm looking at right now. So taking this, let's just calculate the possible risk reward ratio here towards these lows gives me towards the lows gives me a 3.85. Let's call it a 3.5 R due to slippage and whatever, right? 3.5 R. So a short from here allows me to take 50% of my trade and make more than 1.5%, right? Just on that trade, and letting the rest of it ride because if it breaks with those lows, then our swing trade idea short on the S&P 500 um, is going to look phenomenal, right? So that's what I'm thinking on the S&P 500. That's exactly what I'm thinking on the S&P 500. So I'm going to wait for today's open, in pre-market action, just to have a look at that. Japanese yen. Let's have a look. Let's not forget what we are waiting for, right? Gold. Right. Just looking at my other screen, just for a second, guys. On the 1 minute. Yeah, I mean, being stuck in a trade on a drawdown after deviating from what you normally do is just, yeah, it sucks. Right. So let's not have a look at what could have been, but what is going on at the moment, right? Huh. Right. Gold taking out this. Um, I'm sorry, this liquidity or whatever. I'm eyeballing it, right? This lows. And if I look correctly at what is now the demand area, should be something like this. But you know what? Um, I personally I can't. It's this. I can't take it, right? Because I'm already um, maxed on my risk on a gold long. But this again is looking good. You know, taking out these lows, mitigating this, and then boom. This is super strong low. I mean, the overall low around the 1781. I'm sorry, 8150 to 1781.75 to 1781 to 1782 is super strong. It's super strong. Um, low in gold. As you can see, every time, wow, super volatile this market too. So let's wait and see what happens, right? pound yen. Still waiting for that particular, breakout on the Japanese yen. And while we wait, if you have any questions, just go ahead and type it on the chat. Let me just look at the US dollar currency index on the 10-minute chart. Exactly what I was looking for. This is why I'm still holding those shorts on the US dollar. Right. This is the main reason I'm still holding those shorts on the USD. Now, should the US dollar, again, told you break with these highs, then I'm going to get stopped out or break even on my US dollar shorts, which are Euro US dollar longs, of course. And I'm not even looking at the US dollar markets. You know that I normally trade for possible new US dollar longs just because just because of risk management, we already have, like I told you, six trades open, and yeah, we're good with what we have, and also more so because of that gold that I'm stuck in at the moment. Right, questions, guys. If you don't have any questions, um, your 1 hour thought process on USD CAD. I don't know. Let's have a look. I don't know. Let's have a look. All right, just a second. Uh, just a second, guys. Right, USD CAD. Uh huh. All right. Right. Before I go through, the USD CAD, I have a question from Junior. How do you manage to hold trades even when there's I'm sorry, a drawdown? Well, this is the thing, right? You when you take a trade, it's because you have a bias, right, on the market that you're trading. For example, um, I'm short bias on the U.S. dollar, right? Oh boy, I'm short bias on the U.S. dollar, so I will be looking for your U.S. dollar longs, right? Which is exactly what I did here, right? You know, um, and this is the greatest example on how I do things, right? If you notice, uh, here the same thing happened as it happened today in gold. Price, I mean, after breaking these highs, price came down around my entry, right? Printing lows, right new lows, and that's why I moved myself to break even. Again, a mistake that I made was not taking 75% off here. You know, dumb mistake because I deviated from my trading plan. But here in gold, for example, today, um, which is this is my trade, which is in a, it is in a drawdown. Um, I am in a drawdown because again I mismanaged my trade. I didn't move my stop losses to break even. But sometimes you are going to take a trade, right, and you're immediately going to go down on a drawdown. Now, the reason that I'm telling you this is because whenever that happens, it really doesn't matter, right? Because the trade was planned, your bias was set, um, and you made the optimal decision based on data and mathematics. That's the first thing. You have to understand the math behind the setups that you trade, right? This is not about going from chart to chart to chart to chart looking for buys or sells. No. You're never going to be profitable in the long term if you do that, right? What you do is you trade the same setups over and over and over in the markets that you have backtested those setups in, right? So, for example, this Euro US dollar long from yesterday, I know exactly the probability of success of this trade, given the fact that my bias on the US dollar was correct, etc., 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 right? Now, I also know that by not taking 75% off of my trade at the previous highs and moving my stop loss to break even, the profitability of this setup goes down a ton. So that's why I told you that I made a mistake. But if this trade would have drew down on me and hit my stop loss, it doesn't matter because one, I'm managing my risk correctly in the sense that I'm risking between 0.75 and 1% of my equity, right? And because of the probability of success of this setup being above 68%, and with this risk to reward, right? Even if this risk to reward would have been 1 to 1, like this, that trade on the long term in a vacuum makes money, right? Now, let's not talk about a 3.2R, right? This setup prints money in a, on the long term, taking it over and over and over and over, right? It prints money. So, because the probability of success of this trade is, of this setup, I mean, I don't remember exactly, but I think it's above 68%. There's going to be 32% of the times that I'm going to lose money on this, right? And very possibly a couple of percent, or I don't know, man. I can't tell you this exactly. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but there's a couple of times that the trade, I mean, is going to trigger me in, and then whoop, go to my stop loss immediately, right? But it really doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't matter. Why? Because I understand the math behind that setup. It really doesn't affect me. What affects me completely is deviating from my my trading plan like a fucking moron. Deviating from my trading plan like a fucking moron. You know, and this happens when you get too comfortable. When you're trading with your trading. This happens on winning streaks. You get. I mean, the market will. I mean, will slap you down into reality. And yeah, I mean, just I mean, if you are not, if you're not, mate, if you are not, back testing every. I mean, I'm not saying that you should back test every day because you're not going to do it, right? But if you're not back testing your setups, right, you're not going to make money ever. Now, also that's why it's important to have what I call a semi-automated, methodology when it comes to trading the markets. And what I call semi-automated methodology when it comes to trading the markets is to have a checklist of what you see or what you trade, right? For example, um, right now I would love to add to this long position in the Euro USD, but it's a little bit too speculative with the US dollar being so bullish today. But what I see here, one of my entry models is quite simple, mate. Right? So, I see. Yes. Let's imagine that I'm not long on the US dollar, right? And I saw this breakout, right? This is a big breakout, more so because price broke with the the strong highs, right? So I want to get long. What I'm going to do, I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to look at the bias of the market that I'm trading when I see this possible setup. Which currency I'm trading here? Well, the USD. That's how I look at what the US dollar is doing. US dollar is very bullish, right? We have this key level and supply zone that I could trade on. I could trade short the US dollar on, but you know what? It's not quite good, right? But again, let's imagine that the US dollar was in fact, crashing. Right. So entry model one. Let's look at first of all people about to get fucked, right? Now there's a ton of liquidity here, a ton of liquidity here. But because we are looking at, you know, let me just look at my other screen for a second. You, ooh, ooh, I'm looking at what, 5 minute chart? Yeah, it looks good. So on the 5 minute chart, right? On the 5 minute chart, actually, I think that I just missed it. That's I'm just going to delete this. So I'm looking for longs, right? This is today's price action or so, and here is that demand zone that I would want to trade. So first of all, I'm looking for people about to get fucked. All of these deep buyers just got fucked, right? Now, this is my entry model, right? First of all, look for the breakout. I trade trending markets. I don't trade, ranging markets. We have a breakup, right? Now we can see deep buyers, showing up here. This created a demand area, right? Or a discount zone, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And here you can see that we have weak players in the market, weak longs, right? Getting stopped out. And here we have very weak players. And when I say weak players, these are players eager to get long on a trading market, which is fine. Everybody does that, right? We are trying to trade the long side. So my entry model dictates that I need to look for a true demand area, and this is just one of my entries, right? A true demand zone, then accumulation, in this case, sell side liquidity, then people getting fucked, and then my trade would have been this. My entry, um, here is what my entry would have looked like. First targets here for about 3R, and then here for about 5R or so. This is what today's long on the Euro USD would have looked like. But again, um, because of what I just told you about mismanaging my trades, uh, I am really, really not looking to add to my positions. Gold. Yeah, but this is, I mean, that's my entry model, and I know that's one of my entry models, and I know the probability of success of these trades. So if I get stopped out, I get stopped out, and that's fine. I hope that answers your question, mate. More questions? Um, let's have a look at the pound, at the Japanese yen shades. Okay, that's why you don't trade ranging markets. But well, the pound yen hasn't really rallied on this Japanese short. Well, it's about to. Yeah, very possibly will be moving my stops to break even on this. But I mean, this breakout is looking good on the pound yen. Let's have a look at the GBP USD. Now, again, same thing on the pound USD. Should I have looked for longs on the pound US dollar? Let's have a look. Let me see my other screen. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Should I have looked for longs on the pound USD? I would have looked at this, this supply zone right here that created. This is the supply zone that I will be trading because this is the supply zone that saw accumulation of buy orders that created the break of these highs, right? And now, after that break of these highs, what I look for is people about to get fucked. And all of this right here, this is just stop losses getting fucked. So, my long on the pound USD for today would have been something in the vicinity of this. Yeah, something like this. I'm not taking it. We have too many trades open. I mean, all of our trades are, um, we are up about 3% on all of our trades, even with my gold drawdown. Right now, gold is in a 0.3% drawdown, right? Yeah, but everything is looking good, you know. So this is one of my entry models, and it took me quite a while, and I'm still working on this. I'm still working on this because it's new, right? And there's um, there's a ton that I need to still back test, but yes, look at this. There's a ton that I still need to back test, mate. But it's oof, beautiful. It's being profitable, and this is the U.S. dollar currency index. Just look what happened. Weak shorts got fucked, and then price mitigated that. Almost that supply zone, and blam, we are going down, and that is, my friends, good for that Euro USD. So today's Euro US dollar long position would be up right now, um, about 1.4%. I'm going to start sending a ton of this to my VIPs. Now, on the GBP USD side, I wouldn't have taken this long position, mates, even though I just told you that my entry would have been at the break of these highs. And the main reason, well, there's two reasons that I wouldn't trade this one. It's because of my stop loss position should be below, the lows of the supplies or the demand zone. That gives me a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio for first targets, and I just don't dig it more. And the other reason is that price hasn't really mitigated that zone. So that or this could in fact just be again sell side liquidity being built up here before boom the true mitigation. Hello Samsung, but this yeah, again, it today was a very off day for me, mates. Everybody has off days. Everybody has off days, and today was an off day for me. But if not, we would have been taking. We would be in this long position, right? Very very tight stop loss, just 10 pips stop loss. Yeah, but it happens, and whenever you have, because yeah, I mean, if you trade, this will happen. Whenever you have, off days, that you made mistakes, just don't push it because those are the times that it's going to be, even if you have your emotions under control, right? Like I do most of the time. My girl says that I do. I believe her. But even if you have your emotions under control, and having your emotions under control with your trading decisions, that's the main reason that you should have a semi-automated, fully back-tested methodology of trading, because that keeps your, emotional decisions out of the game, right? Because you are making the optimal decisions every single time based on data. But whenever, I mean, but in off days, those are the times that it's going to be, uh, more easy or easier, easier for your emotions to take control of your trading decisions. So, whenever I have off days, like today, that I made mistakes, I just don't push it, right? I just don't push it, you know. And I convinced myself that even though I mean, this is just an excellent trade, right? Even though this is a massive, excellent trade, uh, I just, I, I need to cool off, right? And focus on why I made those mistakes and fix that, right? But that's just me. That's just me. Hope that helps. Now, uh, Euro USD, very good trade. Yeah, in hindsight, not in hindsight because I mean I showed you whilst it was about to break. So I hope some of you took it. I don't know. Oh, I'm a little bit sleepy. It's 5 a.m. I must be lonely. I don't know why I sung that. All right, so pound yen still inside of this range. I'm not looking at anything at the moment, but go ahead, ask me anything. I I appreciate the kind words. Thank you, sir. What practical steps do you think a trader can take to move from the break-even stage to profitability? Because I'm not making money and I'm not losing either. Now, that's a great question. First of all, whatever is the amount of trades that you take per day, cut that in half, right? Because you are trading. I mean, I don't even know you, and I can tell you that you're trading too much, right? Second, focus on your step by step checklist on the setups that you trade, right? Elaborate and develop a trading system. Third, back test the fuck out of that system. And when you're back testing, uh, take as much data as possible. So then, after you have a big enough sample size, you can mine that data a ton. Also, journal all of your trades, and more so when you deviate from what you normally do or your trading plan, right? Be hard on yourself. Be like a fucking machine when it comes to trading decisions. In fact, mate, I'm going to tell you something that is going to sound a little bit counterintuitive, but after you place your trade or your order gets filled, there's absolutely no need for you to make one single decision. Why? Because your trade has, or your setup was already planned, and uh, your trade management should also already be planned. For example, myself, I take 75% off at, in this case, in this Euro USD long, because I'm looking for longs, right? I take 75% off my position at the previous highs. Why? Because no one knows, no one fucking knows if price is going to break and continue. Why? Right. And yesterday, I made the mistake of letting my trade ride. Why? Because I was getting a little bit too comfortable with my trading because it's been very good lately. So, the market slapped me back to reality. I deviated from, and when I decided that I was not going to take profit, right, I made a trading decision vis-a-vis my trade management after I was already in the trade, which is a big no, right? Like a robot, I should have taken 75% of my trade here, move my stops to break even, and we would be laughing on this Euro USD long today. But hey, I didn't do that. So yeah, that's my advice. I think that's what you asked. What is TCR 20? I don't understand that. I have a dry mouth. TCR 20. Right. Let's look at the Japanese yen. I mean, I'm still waiting for this. I don't think that this is going to play out. Right. Within 10 minutes or so. So, I'll send that trade to my VAPs, and yeah, if you're a VAP, you shall receive that trade. Whoa, the pound. But you know what? Let's yeah, I mean, but the pound, yeah, I mean, I just see that she's eager because it's a girl. The pound yen is just eager to break with these lows. You know, yesterday my short on the pound yen, my targets were here, right? Um, I just moved my targets lower because of the sheer, possibility of this breakout being the breakout. Just have a look at the higher time frames, right? Let's go to the hourly chart, right? This level is so strong, right? Now, what I dig about this is this couple of lower uh, lower highs. Now, this high is still not yet a lower high because this low hasn't been broken with. But if this low breaks, guys, the probability of this low breaking and this market dumping is quite high. So that's why, that's one of the reasons that I just moved my stop my targets here. And with the current, by lowering my stop loss to just about this high, now my trade has a 13.6 risk to reward ratio. Love the speech. All the things you're saying is actually correct. I do a 9 to 5 and trade, and it's hard to actually watch my setup after I set the order. All right, I dig it. I dig it. Your style looks like SMC based. Um, Smart money concepts. Listen, um, it is. I'd say I took. Yeah, I took the liquidity side of ICT, right? I'm talking about ICT, right? I took the liquidity concept and applied it to build my entry model, right? I don't trade 100% ICT, right? Or I don't know where you heard of smart money concepts, but and the reason that I evolved on what I was doing is because what I was doing before was breaking even or sometimes losing money in the long term because of market conditions, right? So, and also because of the risk to reward ratios that I used to trade, right? Before I was trading at 1.5, 1.3 risk to reward ratios. So I was eager to look for better risk to reward ratios, and then I started just to play out with the liquidity concept in the markets. And let me tell you something. Every time I say that, that guy that was going to bungee jumping pops in my mind. And let me tell you something. The liquidity concept in the market is just phenomenal. You know, um, uh, when applied correctly, right? It's phenomenal, right? And what I call the liquidity concept is every time I say I'm waiting for people to get fucked, right? This is just, I'm talking about that liquidity being built up, that sell side liquidity being built up before the actual move. It's magnificent. It's magnificent. I don't know if you say this in English, but it's very good. If you understand it, and if you can see it in the market, yeah, it takes your trade to another level, right? But like I told you before, when I was first starting my show, um, this is quite new. I've been trading. I developed two entry models based on liquidity. This is the one that I have back tested the most and the one I trade the most. And I also developed a kind of a reversal, right? Based on liquidity entry model. But that is one that I'm going to just scratch because the numbers are not looking good, which is fine, right? But yeah, it is a little bit like SMC, right? But just applied a few concepts to my own, trading personality, and developed my personal entry models. I hope that answers your question, mate. Uh-huh. All right, Nick. Yeah, I didn't invent anything here, right? I just hustle, mate. I hustle a ton, and you should trade. The way that you trade, it should make absolutely and utterly complete sense to you, right? So, for example, people that trade Elliott Wave, I don't know. I have a friend, and he's very profitable trading Elliott Wave, right? And sometimes we have discussions. Also, he trades. I'm more like a day trader, right? He I do have swing trades running in the back, but he is 100% swing trader, right? And we often have discussions about the markets, right? Our biases, etc. not our particular entry levels or traits, but more like biases and yeah, when he pulls up when he pulls up his charts, then we get into a real discussion because I don't understand. Maybe because I never put the time into trying to understand it, but it doesn't make any fucking sense to me because um, I have in my trading DNA rate key pivotal levels. Always look at key pivotal levels, right? I start with key pivotal levels, and then yeah, and then I go from there, right? But he doesn't, right? So and sometimes I would tell him, why would you buy in the middle of fucking nowhere, right? Because Elliott Wave uses ratios mostly for entry zones, etc. Sometimes market structure, but anyways, I digress. Yeah, I mean you should be trading whatever makes sense to you. Don't try too hard, wire anything into your trading system or trading DNA. The more the more at ease it feels, the better, right? And yeah, this is something that really clicked with me, and for a while, right? But I didn't. I had never applied. I mean, I've known about the concept of liquidity and liquidity-based entries, for a decade, right? But I've never applied it because I was trading a system that I fully developed myself, which is not rocket science. I'm sorry, right? But when it started to fail, to I had to move my ass and look for why it was failing, and this is when it came, right? I'm sorry. The reason why it was failing um, is because I was trading setups in zones that were actually, uh, you know, that was actually just liquidity, not true demand or supply zones. So basically, I was trading support and resistance, which is not the same, right, as supply and demand. So let me show you an example. Where can I show you an example? I don't know. Um, I don't have. It's right. So this is a clear example, right? This is a clear example of what I'm looking at, or for what I'm telling you, right? So this is a resistance, previous resistance, right? Turn support, right? Then I would get long, and because also I would hold on to my trades quite for quite a while, I would often get stopped out as just to see price moving in my direction. So I started to analyze why am I getting stopped out so often, right? Or, for example, perhaps I would trade the upside here, right? Because I was looking you know, at the previous highs, and maybe if I missed this, I would go to the lower time frames, right, and find a key level here, right. That created, or I don't know, I'm eyeballing it, right? That created this, support zone. So I would, I don't know, I would enter here at the break of the highs, and then get stopped out, etc. So I had to develop my, the first thing I had to do, I had to look at what I was doing wrong. What was, why was my methodology all of a sudden failing? What I realized is that uh, it had been failing for a while, but because of the markets that I traded and how I managed my positions, I was able to still make some money trading, right? But when it really started failing was at the beginning of the year and the end of last year. I just had to look the reason why my methodology was failing, and I realized that I was trading into these zones that are actually liquidity. So I started to develop, an entry model based on the concept of liquidity, right? Still trading, still trading the same, right? But now that liquidity zones are on my checklist, right? So I'm gonna log off, guys. Again, like I told you, I had an off day, so I need to do some work on myself. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And trade safe. Don't overtrade. Uh, Remember that you will have off days, but the important thing is for you to no, don't push it on that on not to push it on those days. And yeah, always be always keep your journaling and your entry model chart. Nice to hear about your trading experience and how you've developed your strategy. Very interesting. I'm still a novice and trying to find a style that suits me. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, mate. And I welcome you to join us and learn from us. And if it doesn't make sense to you, it's fine, right? I'm not pushing this blindly to anyone because I understand that not everybody is going to be not happy with, but it's not going to be um, triggered with what we do or what I do, which is fine. You should be trading with a group of traders that trade or have the same, trading personality as you, right? But why? You should, these trials are love the speech. That's exactly how I was. Hold the fuck on. Love the speech. That's exactly how I was. I've learned a lot from you, honestly. Well, mate, I appreciate the kind words. I appreciate the kind words, mate. That's why I'm here. You know. So you should ask me as many questions as you can whenever I'm live. You know. And like today, if there's no trades, to be taken, let's just talk about the markets, right? Now, let's little thing on the DXY before I log off. Um, shite. So what's happening now is that hold on, all right. Yeah. So the DXY. I'm looking at the 2 minute chart. All right. Right. So this entire zone right here. Couple of things here, guys. Uh, on a very short time frame, this is a 2 minute chart. This is looking super bullish. Oh, shites. This is looking very bullish. So this entire zone right here. Let's see. I'm gonna show you. This entire zone right here. No, that was already being mitigated. So something like this, here. And of course, if the DXY breaks with these highs, then I'll close my US dollar shorts. But you know what? Let's wait and see what happens. Yeah, let's just wait and see what happens, right? I'm gonna log off, guys. I need to. I have some work to do. Appreciate it. Olympus going to be live around the U.S. Open, and for my VIPs, heads up on this Japanese yen breakout. It's going to get hot. Yeah, this might be a very good long opportunity. So this is what I'm focusing on, and only this for today, guys. U.S. dollar shorts, something that I really I would love to see, but again, there's absolutely nothing that I can do for a price to move in my direction, right? Only plan according to what I do. So, where's the area that I was telling you about? I don't know. But you know what? Still looking good. Thank you for joining me, guys. I appreciate the kind words again. And I would love you to talk about more about liquidity tomorrow. What time zone are you in, and what sessions do you normally trade? All right, hold on. Don't mind this. Uh, it's 5:30 a.m. here, 5:25 a.m. here. So I don't even know what time zone it is where I am. To be completely honest, that's something that I don't know. Oh, hola, Brunis. One of the dogs is here. But I normally, I live London time. I normally trade the London session and the morning during the New York session, and because the Asian session is during my evening, I do sit in my screen for about an hour, just to review, you know, just to have a look at the markets, and I always do if there is a Japanese yen setup that I'm looking for. For example, if I was looking for this, if I was looking at this breakout, this possible breakout, right, on the Japanese yen, and it was like, at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. New York, I would just log off, but I would log in during the Asian sessions to see if this played out and place a trade, right? But that's it. So you need to bring back those learning or teaching sessions, Orlando. Which ones? Which ones? This ones? I thought that I was bringing them. I thought that I was bringing it. Yeah. I would love you to talk more about liquidity tomorrow. You listen. There's not too. There's not too much to talk about the concept of liquidity, other than what I just talked about today. You know. Also, guys, here's the thing, right? The only reason that I'm talking about this is because I currently I currently trade. You know, my one of my entry models is liquidity based, right? But that is something that you shouldn't apply to your trading unless you fully backtest it and fully understand it, right? Um, right. You've been hearing me talk about that concept more and more in the past month or so, but because I have spent the better part of the year working on it, understanding, and fucking up at first. But yeah, yeah, just ask me whatever you want to know about that concept. I'll do my best to. Yeah, to answer your question, I'll do my best. Right. There's a ton of yeah, free information online on YouTube. Also, if you want to learn about that concept, right, from the bosses. Like I told you, this is something that I didn't invent. I learned it from a very good experienced trader myself, right? But you have to put on the work. Shit, what happened here? Oh, my screen went off. Yeah, you have to put on the work, right? I compare this as being a doctor because we never stop learning and we never stop working on our craft. Right, so to end up this live session, I am still holding my gold long with a 50 pip drawdown. That sadly, there's absolutely nothing I can fucking do in this case, but either wait to get my stop losses to get hit or for price to break to the upside. Sadly, because again I mismanaged my trade. I'm still holding my Euro USD long. I'm still holding my Euro USD long. From yesterday. Again, either I will get stopped out of break even, or price will rally. Uh, that management to break even was the correct thing to do. Again, what I did wrong was not taking 75% of my trade here, right? Another mistake. Off days happen. Then, what else do I have running? Ah, the pound yen. The pound yen, I love this one. It's now my risk is about 0.35% from 0.95% or so. So I'm just waiting for that break, right, of the Japanese yen to the upside so I can add to my position. Now, in hindsight, let's have a look at what I was looking at today. I don't even remember. Where did I tell you guys that I was looking for ads in this market? I don't remember. But in hindsight, yeah, I mean, this ad or that ad on the Japanese yen short, on the pound yen short would be in profit today. But I not only I look for for sentiment, but I also look for momentum. That's why I don't trade ranges, right? Because I just fucking hate to hold trades through choppy. Even if it's moving in my direction, this is just way too choppy. I like momentum, and that happens on breakouts. So, pound yen, good. Gold, well, what the fuck can you do? Euro USD, good. Pound yen, currently, my pound yen is currently up almost 1% from my entry yesterday. That's awesome. And yeah, my GBP USD long up almost 1,000 pips. Thank you, Junior. That would be great. Can you put the links? No, I can't. Just I'm not. I can't. Right? I can't put the links. Just Google it. Just try to find it yourself. But I can tell you. I can't give you the links to another company, right? That's just no one ever would do that in the history of businesses. But I'm not gonna. I won't do that. But I will always tell you. I'm not going to lie to you about uh, the concepts that I use, where I learned them, etc., etc., etc. Just um, just to find them yourself, mate. Right? Let's look. Oh boy. So, let's look at the U.S. dollar. Yay. See, this is the other thing. See, try to learn about true supply and demand zones. That's a game changer too, mate. That is a game changer too. It's insane. It's a game changer too. It's hard. It's hard to apply, but it is a fucking game changer. Now gold again, moving up. Euro USD. Oh, chopping around. Oh. And pound yen. So with that, I say, who's your trading mentor? My trading. I taught myself how to trade, mate. I taught my everything that you see me doing. I have taught myself. I never had someone teaching me about trading. No one. Everything I do is self-taught, right? That I can tell you, right? I didn't invent anything. For example, the F1 strategy. This is something that I invented, right? That entry model is mine 100%, right? But what you see on the VIP side, on the VIP, yeah, on the VIP group, etc., that's just me, mate. No one ever taught me how to trade. That's why I say it's fucking hard, right? And maybe that's why I hustle so hard, to optimize my trading because that was the only way that I was ever going to be able to be profitable long term, right? And yeah, I learned by fucking up a ton. I learned by fucking up a ton. But you know what? I have a hustler mindset. No one, nobody, anything, nothing is going to keep me down. Now, having said that, there is one person that I owe a ton to. I consider him my mentor, and he taught me about discipline. He taught me about the psychological side of trading. And if it wasn't for him, no matter how hard I would have hustled, I wouldn't be here. So big cheers to you, Big Papa. Yeah, and I mean that's true. I mean, if um, if you don't apply, if you don't work on your mindset, you're never going to be profitable. We don't all understand English. We subscribe to have VIP signals, but we only receive live that we listen, but not. Et moi, je parle français, mec. Tu peux poser les questions en français si tu veux. Mais la raison pour laquelle je parle en anglais is because c'est parce que la plupart du monde, ou la plupart des VIP parlent anglais. Donc, mais si tu veux poser une question ici en français, euh, bienvenue. Also, I can't tell you my mentor's name. You're going to Google him, and you're never going to find him, right? I had, I had, I had a ton of luck. Him finding me actually. No, it was not the other way around. He found me, and we started collaborating, and he guided me through what I just told you. Yeah. So, Man B, tu peux poser les questions en français si tu veux. Moi, je te réponds en français. Euh, mais toute la communication que je fais dans le groupe VIP va être en anglais. La communication que je fais ici aussi va être en anglais parce que la plupart du monde comprend l'anglais. Mais s'il y a quelque chose que tu comprends pas, bienvenue, pose-moi la question en français. We go from there. But if you subscribe, si t'es souscrit pour les signaux, les signaux sont, je te les montrerai, je te les montre, je te, je te montre les signaux, mec. Euh, Ça, c'est le groupe VIP, VIP, et les signaux sont ceux-ci. Uh, this New Zealand dollar, US dollar, and ceci. And this one, ça c'est les signaux que tu cherches, mec. Of course, man, the discipline is the hardest. Is the hardest what? Part of trading. You know what? It is. But and just a piece of advice, also, mates. Right? You cannot be a disciplined and successful trader if you're not disciplined in the rest of your life. Right? And the mindset is just one. Right? It's just one. Think about that and tighten your shit up. Gold, as you say, went up. Yeah, I know. I'm still pissed. I'm still pissed about that trade though, right? I'm still pissed about it. Oh boy, I'm still pissed about it. Hey Orlando, need the copy trading service again. I don't think we are going to launch that anytime soon, but I'll keep you guys posted. Gold, as I say, well, yeah, I mean, cool down. Yeah, but I'm still pissed about this fucking trade, man. I mean, how I mismanaged this position because I would be in a much better risk to reward ratio entry. I don't know. I'm not going to eyeball it, something like this, right? Actually, I would, yeah, something like this, you know. I really, yeah, and I'm not pissed because I missed on this tiny bit of rally as profits, but I'm pissed uh, because I didn't have to incur in this drawdown and this, I know, making me mad. I mean, I don't get mad, but fucking up with my trading day, and that's the main reason that I'm telling you that I had an off day and that I'm not going to be aggressively trading today because I'm not on my um, I'm not on my top, focusing on this mistake. So I better work on myself today. I'll be back tomorrow, even though if we make money on this, right? Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. So let's have a last look at gold because I might just, I don't know. I might just cut it here. I break here, and that's how fucked up this trade looks. But you know what? I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it because of how strong this area was. So let's run with it, right? Let's run with it. We're already incurring some drawdowns, so why don't we let it ride? Pound yen still waiting. Euro USD looking good. Yeah, everything is looking good, mates. Everything is looking good. So let's merci bien pour la réponse. Nous pouvons recevoir ce signal de vos lives aussi dans le groupe Swing VIP. Ouais, mais si t'es dans le groupe Swing VIP, tu reçois les signaux aussi, mec. Laisse-moi te montrer. C'est deux différents groupes. Ok, il y a deux différents groupes. Il y a le groupe Swing, right? Euh, le groupe Swing. Puis il y a le groupe VIP où tu reçois les signaux pour day trade. So, il y a deux différents groupes si tu recherches des signaux. Donc, yeah, the DXY. Let's look at the Japanese yen. Oof, heads up to that breakout. You're still in time to join the VIP group to get that breakout. The DXY. I mean, you know, you have no idea how happy I am that I love what I do and I keep on working on what I do. And I mean, after months and months and months of hard work and hitting the wall, eating shit, you know, being able to look at what you do playing out is phenomenal. It's a fucking feeling. That's the feeling, mates. Why copy trading got stopped because of the broker that we were using as our copy trading uh, partner made. That's the only reason. But you know what? Let's finish the year strong. Next year we are going to bring some new exciting stuff for you. All right. So, um, well, gold broke with yeah. If we look at, I am super tired. Woo! If we look at this is, this is, this is. I mean, this is looking good. Gold broke with these highs. Let me have a look at my other screen just for a second. Gold. I was looking at gold. Right. So, what I am a little bit concerned about is a very thick. Where is it? A very thick supply area. Supply zone here. So I'm gonna I'm going to go through this very quickly, right? Again, this is why I am a little bit concerned about my gold long, right? I would have already taken profit here, about 75% of my trade from the lows. Should I have taken it? Should I have not mismanaged my other trade? Right? Should. So this is a little bit what I'm concerned about on this long trade that I'm currently on, right? Um, this is what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about this being just price, taking out those highs, then mitigating this area before moving lower, and taking out these lows right here, right here. So this is what a little bit of what I'm concerned about and why I'm looking at possibly taking out this position at break even. Possibly, I said. I said possibly. I said possibly. But you know what? Um, I don't think I will. Why? Because thinking about it, risk to reward ratio wise, if I mean, if I held through my trade, I mean, if and this is how I think about trading decisions that I have to make because I mismanaged my whole fucking trade, and this is what I hate about making mistakes because then you have to make decisions on your current positions or your current trades that have no reason to be made if you were to play your plays optimally, right? So, what I was saying, yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember what I was about to say. Yeah, I don't remember. So you know what? Fuck it. Ooh, guys, just have a fucking look at this. You know what? We're going to stick around for a while. Why don't we just do that? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Orlando, no, no, no concerns for the swing trade group. For the gold, long, no concerns. Do you trade the news? Because there is dollar related economic data coming out soon. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Hold on. For its factory calendar, there's nothing on the calendar. I mean, nothing. And if this isn't red, it doesn't concern me, right? If that Forex factory logo isn't red, I really don't care about the news. Oh boy, I don't know, mate. You know what? I remember what I was going to say about that gold. Right? See, fuck. Right. If let's imagine if taking this or this decision that I have to make right now in my gold trade. Oh boy, right now, right? And this is how I make all of my trade decisions. I look at what I have to do now on a vacuum. If I were to take this exact trade every time, right, and let it drew down on me almost 85%, right, of my risk, just to close at a break even, that wouldn't be a profitable trading system, would it? That wouldn't be a profitable trading system, would it? So, um, e- emotionally speaking, my head, my head is pointing at closing it a break even. Emotionally speaking, but mathematically speaking, I don't think I should. So I'm not. There you go. Decision made. Fuck it. Also, not moving my stop losses below this low. I'm assuming full risk on this one. Yeah, let's ride it. Okay, good. So I've been live for almost wow 1 hour and 40 minutes. Olympia is coming up with uh, the U.S. Open. Again, thank you guys for joining me. Yeah, thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. Also, um, yeah, if you're not subscribed to the VIP group, just have a look at this again. Boom. This is the main reason that I don't trade breakouts anymore. Like this, right? Um, if I were to just have a look, if I were to trade breakouts like this, I would have been I would have been triggered here, right, by this weak low. Let's imagine a full risk here above the highs, right? Of course, that targets should be at the lows, but I would have been triggered here, And more often than not, guys, and this is another, this concept is based on also liquidity. More often than not, right? If or when breakout happens, price is going to break out and come back to the zone where the orders piled up to make that breakout happen, right? That's what's going to happen more often than not. So in this case, I'm not gonna go through a chart. I'm not going to. I am not going to, analyze the chart. But just uh, one of the reasons that I, you know, yeah, that I worked on my entry models, right? Because what I just told you kept on happening. And who loves to be on a drawdown, on a trade with a drawdown? No one fucking ever said that. So there you go. That's me. Thank you for joining me, guys. Olympus next, and gold dropping. Yeah, I mean, you do whatever you want to do, mate. I'm cool with it. I already told you I made my peace with this fucking trade. You do whatever the fuck you want to do with your own trade. I have made my peace with this. Right? Not second guessing my decision. Not second guessing anything at all. We good. We good. Right? So thank you again for joining me. Cheers.